Welcome to Lab 2. I'm Louise and Maurice, your leadership mentor during the Get Results Confidence Coaching Holistic Microlearning Program. In Lab 2, we focus on the process. You learn how to prepare, then we move to Step 1, starting the session, and Step 2, coaching questions to engage the client. Subscribers can share their answers, receive feedback, and interact with the community. Are you ready? Let's continue. In this lecture, we are going to be focused on the preparation for the Get Results Confidence Coaching session number 1. Remember, this is a 10-session program. And for each session, I'm going to walk you through these steps so that you feel prepared. And when you are prepared as a coach, that's when your confidence can shine through. And that is very important because your confidence allows your clients to have that trust in you. But the G of Get Results, I've been sharing with you in the last few lectures that the G stands for gauge. Gauge confidence. That is your role as a coach. You have to bring to your clients' awareness how they have been gauging themselves, how they've been measuring themselves. And when you are coaching clients, typically the clients that need to really have a handle on confidence are the ones where it's important for them to be confident in their career. It's important for them to be confident in their business. And how they do one thing is how they do everything. If they are not confident in their career, chances are they're not going to be confident in any other area of their life. It just makes sense. Because that moves along. Remember, we're talking about that mental map. And if they have been compared to, and if they've been measuring themselves by other people's standards, they have this mental map of how they see themselves, well, that filter is going to show up in their relationships, how they deal with their family, their finances. They are just not going to feel confident. And that's where measuring their performance, how they perform, that's where it becomes important. But this is where, when you're preparing your clients, you have sent them, you have emailed them off a plan. Now, don't worry, I have done all of the work for you. And it gives them 3 simple steps. And in that is the image that they see right here. And you will be asking them, what kind of thoughts or feelings does this image invoke in them? And that's where people, oh, wow. When I measure performance, oh my goodness, that's when I just I'm not confident. But obviously, your clients will have an opportunity to look at that. And then there's going to be the URL for the website, the online resource, the interactive activity. And you're going to have them just go and have a look at it. Because the more prepared that your clients are, the more prepared that you are, that means that the session can move forward in a way that doesn't stop anyone. They get full value from the session. But again, I have done all of that for you. Remember, you're always looking in the underneath course content attached to each of the lectures. You will see that resources file folder, and that is what you want to download, the PDF document. All right, that is your preparation, your client's preparation for session number 1. In the next lecture, we are going to look at step number 1 of starting session number 1. Let's continue. In this lecture, we are going to focus on step number 1 of session number 1. And the phrasing that's needed to start session number 1. Remember, it's all of 5 minutes, but having phrasing that you can use, this go-to phrasing with just 3 simple parts: now, next, new. Now, obviously, all of that phrasing is outlined for you, mapped out on the PDF document that I have available for you. And the instructions are right there. But let's just go over some insight for you. Now, how do you feel right now about your confidence? Remember, in preparing your clients, we talked about this in the last lecture, in preparing your clients, you emailed them that PDF document. Remember, that's all done for you. You emailed them that PDF document, and there was that image. And that image was measuring performance and the measuring stick, the yardstick. And that just brings to your client's attention, wow, yes, how am I feeling right now? Well, that makes me nervous. Just seeing images like that. What are your thoughts right now about your confidence and being measured for confidence compared to other people? You can bring in so much pulling forward from that image and the PDF document that you sent them. And they're going to share with you how they are feeling. Next, over the next 40 minutes, and again, the phrasing, the exact phrasing is on that document, but it's important to let them know the time of the session, because over the next 40 minutes, we're going to move through a plan. We're going to move through strategies. And it's important that they understand there is a time limit. Your time's important, their time's important. New, this might be a new approach, but we're going to work through it. And this is where, if you got the email, you have already prepared. You've already looked at that resource. Did you get a chance to look at it? And they'll say, no. Well, this is session number 1, and this is your opportunity to let them know, you know what? Your preparation is really important. I've prepared this, but your prep is already important. That sets the stage, and this is where you get to be that expert, that professional who is guiding them, and they understand, okay, this is important. Now, if your client is paying for these sessions, then they will do the work necessary. But if you've been hired by a company to go in and coach clients, and the team members that you are coaching, they haven't paid, then there might be a little bit of pushback. It's always important to know who's paying, because whoever is paying for the coaching session, they have more invested in it. If they haven't paid, then it's important to get them on the same page. And this is where this new part allows them. All right, so that's step number 1, all of 5 minutes. In the next lecture, we will focus on step number 2. Let's continue. Let's focus on the coaching process. The coaching process is very simple. These are the questions that you ask your client. And for session number 1, step number 2 is all of 5 minutes, but it's an important 5 minutes because this is where you gauge. The process begins with questions. So the gauge process and the questions that you ask your client really does give you insight into their inner world. Remember the mental map that we had learned about. But it also brings to your clients awareness, their inner world. Because more often than not, your clients might not even be aware that these are the filters. Their inner world is dictating what they are doing day in and day out. day in and day out. And that's where there's that saying, you can change location, you can move to a different city, you can move companies, you can change relationships, but you bring yourself with you wherever you go. And that saying, it's there for a reason, because it's the mental map, the filter. Their inner world is filled with all of these filters. The way that they have been programmed to believe about certain people and certain actions, and the way that they have interpreted events in the past, that determines their current reality. And if they just don't have the confidence, if they don't believe in themselves, if they've been criticized their whole lives or humiliated, then they're not going to step out into their dreams. They're not going to move toward any of their dreams. And those dreams can be, yes, related to the career that they want or the relationship, or have anything that they want, the business of their dreams. They're not going to move toward that. And that's where you as the coach get to bridge the gap. So you as the coach are saying to them, again, this is just phrasing, suggested phrasing for you to use. Obviously, you will get comfortable with this and everything, again, being outlined for you, but you can make those adjustments. We'll talk more at the end of this section. As I ask you these questions, share the first response that comes to mind. And this is where it's important for you as a coach, definitely never to judge and never to be really taken aback by anything that they say. Allow them to share. And it's their first response. They don't have to edit it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And yeah, you're going to, that gauge process begins with the questions, because you have to be able to gauge, you have to be able to understand where they're at, because in order to bridge the gap, you have to know this part and you have to know that part. All right, in the next lecture, we're going to focus on step number 3 of session 1. Let's continue.